All right. Welcome to the very first Nifty Cauldron podcast. I'm your host, Milan. This is my co-host,
Co-hosts Kelly, Dab.
Kelly Dub.
Yeah, Dab. Fart sound.
We'll edit that in later in post-production.
There you go. Post production.
So yeah, tell the listeners a little bit about you, Kelly. What do you do?
So hi everybody. My name is Kelly Fingerguns. Go by Apothecary. I stream on Twitch. I was gonna say I film like I'm some sort of movie star. I stream on Twitch, and by day I work the corporate realm, and by night I stream on Twitch. And anytime in between, I'm usually mouth breathing and playing video games. How about you, Milan?
Nice. By day, I either do nothing, which is not accurate. I also stream on twitch.tv/Nifty Studios. Both are links in the description down below. And I guess by day, I edit videos, I edit clips, I do like Photoshop, like all that. Like it's all related to streaming, but ultimately it's quote unquote nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you, Scoop.
But yeah, I've personally only started streaming. I know you've been doing it for a little bit longer than I. How's it been for you? Like, was it a rough start? Like, are you enjoying it?
Sure. So I started in May. I can't remember the exact date. I'm sure I could probably go and look at that. I got affiliate like a month later, which is pretty solid. I was really stoked on that.
Mm-hmm.
And then since then, I stream 3 times a week. When I first started streaming, I was super nervous. I think a lot of it comes from like weird, unresolved childhood issues. But
Right.
also just like how I feel about like my voice sometimes, I guess. But so I'm not gonna lie, for the first like week of streaming, I would drink before I would go on camera, and it made it so that I would just kind of like loosen up and then be fine. But now, like, I'm totally good and I can stream without it. However, every Friday nights, I do like to do a little drink stream and have some fun, just because who doesn't like to kick back and have a couple brews after, a shitty work week,
Yeah, it's Friday, right? So
right?
that's always good fun. Do you still feel the same way about your voice, or is this just, did you get used to it by now?
I've definitely kind of got used to it by now. I would say that like there are brief moments where I feel weird about my voice, especially like thinking about it now, like being in a podcast in which some people wouldn't be able to actually see my fucking face, but they'll be able to hear my voice and shit like that. Like I'm starting to like be like, oh no, Scoob. But I think it's just something I have to fucking work through. So I mean, I don't know. Don't flame me. No bully.
No bully.
No bully.
Yeah. I mean, I get where you're coming from. I think everybody's like that. I don't think anyone likes their voice the first time they hear it.
Yeah. Right.
Like,
It's like so
it's
jarring.
yeah, because you're not used to what it sounds like, because it sounds different to you.
Mm-hmm. It totally sounds different, like in your head versus like when you actually like go and like watch back like your VODs, or you watch back, or like you record yourself and you listen to it and you're just like, man, I fucking sound like that.
Yeah,
Jesus,
I mean,
why didn't anybody tell me?
I think scientifically it's because of the vibrations your voice causes in your head when you
Mhm.
talk. That's why you sound different to yourself, but it's definitely a very jarring experience to hear your voice. I'm kind of the same way. Like I don't like my voice, but I don't mind it, and I've definitely gotten used to it over the years, I want to say, for sure.
I
So
don't know why. I mean, I think you have a great voice, Nifty. Like,
I
as I
mean, that's
Milan. Like, I think you have like a really. I think Milan, you have like a really good voice. Like specifically,
well,
like it's
thank
I
you.
don't know. It's got a nice timbre to it. It's got a nice, like that deep, like kind of subtle rasp. You got it going on, Scoob.
I gotta go on. Well,
Yeah.
it's comments like that kind of made me more open to the idea, like, hey, maybe my voice isn't all bad and I'm just not used to it. To kind of give a hella throwback. This is
Throwback.
like, I don't know, 15 years ago or so, maybe even 16. You gave me a compliment and it's still stuck by me to this
Oh, I
day.
know which I know which one you're thinking
Yeah.
about.
Do you wanna let the audience know?
No, you go ahead. You own it, Scoob.
I own it.
Yeah, you own it. It's yours.
This was like,
Keep it in your pocket.
this was back in the day, like before Skype, before Discord, all of that. For people who don't know, I live in Europe and Kelly lives in NA, so across the world. So what the way we would voice talk is I would legit call her on the landline.
Yeah, with like phone cards, right?
No, I would just pay the phone bill, dude.
What? You madman. I thought you used a phone card.
No, like I think at
Bruh.
one point I had like $400 or something to pay, but it was fine.
What?
Like we were financially better back then. Times were different, so it was okay. And like I remember we were talking, and you were like, "I want to lick the inside of your mouth for making such heavenly noises."
Yeah,
And
dude.
obviously that's like a hyperbole on all that, but like it's like the first genuine compliment I got from my voice,
Yeah.
and that just stuck by me like forever. I think it's gonna go to the grave with me.
Well, now everybody on the podcast does, but that's fine too, I guess.
That's fine, but I mean, like I'll probably never forget it. Like that's what I mean, you know?
Oh, gotcha. No, I mean, like I said, like you've got a really nice voice. You got a good like radio voice, you know?
The radio voice.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
I
one of the
definitely don't have that.
reasons I wanted to do a podcast because I don't have any other real talents. So I figure, you know what? I'm just gonna focus on the vocals a little bit and like shoot the shit with my best friend. And here we are, right?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, like for me, ooh, yeah, I don't think I have a very good voice. It's actually really funny. For the first, I want to say week that I've been streaming, people have just been like, "Yeah, I listen to your stream as I go to sleep, and your voice is just very soothing, and it helps me go to bed." And I'm like, "Oh well, I'm glad I'm putting you to sleep, Scoob," kind of thing. Like, but
Yeah.
like, I didn't take it personally. I'm just kind of like laughing at it, but it is kind of funny that like, I don't know. So, like I said, like I've kind of gotten over my voice. Over time. I don't know. I just realized that I wasn't ever going to be one of those people that kind of spoke in a like a higher register. Like that just doesn't happen. I definitely have like a husky voice, but that's okay. I mean, nah,
Yeah.
dude.
I mean, your voice is and always has been perfectly fine. I think it definitely stems from like a little bit of insecurity, which is fine. Like I
Oh
think
yeah.
most people have that. Like again, I don't think anyone. I mean, I guess leave a comment down below if you've always loved your voice from the very first time you heard it. But I
Yeah.
think you're a minority if so.
Yeah, dox your love of your voice down below. I would love to meet you. Coach me on loving my voice, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. So you've been streaming since May.
Mhm.
It's August now. I
Mhm.
think yeah, it should be August. Have you fallen into any like pitfalls, you think? Like something that you didn't expect was part of streaming or that you didn't like see coming? Like is anything different than you had expected?
I guess the biggest thing that I kind of did to like play myself is that I didn't realize that and I know no tea, no shade, don't bully me, no bully. I didn't know that my VODs were going to expire. Like I clearly didn't read the fine print or something, but I didn't know that my VODs were going to expire. So a lot of my first games that I was playing through that I genuinely liked doing,
Mm-hmm.
I Deadass don't have those VODs anymore because they expired. So I'm kind of sad that I lost them, and I wish that I downloaded them ahead of time and like put them up on like YouTube or something. But I played myself, so that's kind of like the one thing that I think I would do different. If you're listening to this
Yeah.
podcast, download your fucking VODs. Download that shit. Even if you want to put them on like a private YouTube channel that you're not even gonna fucking like make public or something, though you should, because might as well. You already made content, right? But like,
Yeah.
don't lose your shit. Don't do what I did.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's the reason why I downloaded my VODs, and I'm just gonna put them on a VOD channel on YouTube. In my case, I'm not even affiliate, So my VODs expire like 2 weeks in.
Mm,
So it's definitely like, you snooze, you lose kind of deal.
yeah, no, for sure. But I mean, at the same time, at least you knew that you needed to download them, unlike my dumbass.
Well, yeah, but I only know because of you, right? Like I knew VODs expired, but I always assumed it was like 2 months in for everybody. And then when you brought it up, I was like, oh wait, it's different depending on if you're not a partner, if you're affiliate, if you're not even affiliate. It's all different tiers that I wasn't even aware of.
Yeah, yeah. So it's kind of busty. But I mean, what's kind of like the games that you like to play, Milan? Like, what kind of content would you say that you want to start curating on Twitch? Like, I know you just recently started streaming, more
Yeah,
full time ish, So yeah, I just wanted to
yeah.
see what kind of games you're into, Scoop.
So like you said, I've only been streaming for a week now. I've only been playing Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice, which is an amazing game. I cannot recommend it enough. If you're a fan of like a Soulsborne or any similar games like that. As for what types, I don't exactly know. Like where I'm gonna go from here. I'm probably gonna do Devil May Cry in the future and Cyberpunk. I also have an upcoming JRPG I want to play. So it's kind of the games I would already play, and just now, hopefully in front of an audience. But it's looking pretty action packed in the near future, especially if after Sekiro I do Devil May Cry and shortly thereafter like Cyberpunk. I also want to play Horizon Zero Dawn at some point. So just different kind of games, I guess.
Yeah, those are all pretty, story driven and longer games, I would say. Kind of a lot of skill intensive gameplay.
Yeah, for sure. Like they're definitely a lot longer games, which I hope doesn't backfire, right? Because in some cases, I feel let's say if it takes me 4 weeks to beat a game, and if you miss the first 2 weeks, then it's a little bit hard as a viewer to play catch up, you know.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe I'll do longer hours or a bonus stream or two, or for those special long form type games, right? Like I also want to play Final Fantasy 15 at some point, which I imagine is like at least 40 hours. So and I don't want to spend like 4 weeks beating a JRPG on stream. So maybe I'll just stream a little bit longer, or a bonus stream or two to kind of make up for that time.
Yeah, or even what I've noticed that what a lot of people do is that if they are grinding on the side, they don't stream the grind. So if you needed to like get more levels and stuff like that, I've noticed what a lot of people have done is just like done that like either on the weekend and not streamed it, and then they just like kind of give an update at the beginning of their next stream. Like, yeah, over the weekend I grinded a few more levels so that we can start doing this next thing.
Yeah, no, that's a really good point. Like I had a mindset like that with Sekiro. I figured if I can't like really beat a boss in an hour, like if I'm not coming close at all, then maybe it's best I do it after the stream and like maybe like record it, so I can have at least a clip saved of the winning fight and just play it on stream. But luckily so far that hasn't been the case yet. The longest it took me to beat a boss fight was 50 minutes. So
Almost at that hour.
we're getting that 5 hour mark. I was actually editing the video as we speak. Like I was hypercutting all the deaths, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I was there for the suffering, but like I said, I didn't necessarily mind it because I really love that voice actor. Did you ever figure out who that was? Who's the voice actor for Genichiro?
Genichiro, I didn't look it up. I know him. Like I know
His voice,
I
right?
think, yeah. I just can't place him in my mind right now. I also know, Sekiro himself, the wolf. I also know Lord Kuro. Like they're all very familiar and pretty famous voice actors. I typically have difficulty placing someone unless it's like a recent anime or something.
Mm.
But I'll probably put it up on screen.
You know what? I think I just had like a fucking dead ass Jimmy Neutron fucking like brain blast, but I think I remember his voice actor.
Yeah,
I know what other
where
works that
from?
he's worked in. So, um, no tea, no shade, no bully, but I love otomes. A lot of the games that I
Hmm.
play on my stream are otomes or visual novels because I deep down inside I crave romance. But one of the I'm pretty sure his voice actor plays Kazama in Hakuoki, which is a um, a visual novel otome game where you basically you date the Shinsengumi. And Kazama is he is basically he's a demon, and you find out that your character has demon blood, and he basically comes over and he's just like, "Hey baby, like we should make a bunch of demon babies." And you're just like,
Maybe some of that.
huh?
Interesting. No, I said like give me some of that.
Right?
Demon
Exactly.
blood. Yeah.
I need a freak like that.
No, but yeah, like he's definitely a famous voice actor. Like I know him from several anime and more video games. It's just I'm really bad at placing it. So if anyone else knows other than the Otome Kelly mentioned, just put it down in the comments. Like without assuming you didn't have to look it up.
Or if you did look it up, then God Gamer, do your research.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm probably gonna put it on screen somewhere as we talk about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I totally don't. I mean, that's just like the big one that sticks out to me.
Yeah, no, I get that.
He has like a really like
So
mumbly effect
yeah,
on his voice. I like
just
it.
it's a very manly voice, basically.
Yeah, like manly, mumbly, and he's just kind of talks like under his breath, but
Yeah, like he has a very sharp voice, I would even
sharp.
say.
Yeah, he sounds like he's like creating knives with his mouth and then stabbing.
Yes. Yes.
And then he does it in game as well.
So you mentioned visual novels and otomes as your category of choice.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any favorite ones or ones that like that you've played now that they're like, oh shit, that's a lot better than I expected it to be?
Yeah. So, let me try to think. So Hakuoki, I really loved. Just because I just loved voice acting in it, and I loved like the storyline and stuff like that. So, Hakuoki, Stories of the Shinsengumi. There have been a lot of sequels to that. Have I played
Okay.
them? Not yet. I do have Hakuoki Kyoto Winds that I need to start playing. But one of my favorite Otome games that came out pretty recently was Amnesia. If you have not played Amnesia, it is fucking good. You basically are this girl, you lose your memories, and you're basically trying to find out who you are. You do like five actually, because one of them is a secret group that you only get after beating the other four. But you have
Oh,
four, right? And then but there's like four different routes, and basically they're all based on card suits. So you can either date Shin, I think, who's heart, and Iki, who's a diamond, who is the worst. Play Iki last because he sucks. Then there's spades, and then clubs. Oh wait, no, maybe diamond is Toma. Either way, but I think the best route for me was Kent. Like I loved Kent. So for those kind of people that are into Otome games, I recommend those titles. I One of the Otome games that I played actually on stream that I felt was quite good was what was it, a Summer's Eve Hong Kong 1986 or something like that, but it was basically set in Hong Kong, and you play as Michelle, who is super annoying. Like the main character is super fucking annoying, but your girlfriend Sam that you're trying to date is like super hot and super like amazing. I will say, is it like the typical otomes where like there's so many bad ends? Like when it comes to Amnesia, there's a lot of bad ends. Like you get a bad end scoop like fairly often. I was thinking of actually replaying it on stream, which would be fun. But there's a lot of bad
yeah.
ends, specifically in Amnesia. I will say, if you're looking kind of like for Babby's first Otome, you might want to check out Hong Kong, just because there isn't technically a bad end. You can get, there's only two endings. One of them's like the true ending, and the other one is not the true ending, and that's pretty much it. So if you're looking to
Right.
kind of experience a visual novel for the first time, I recommend that one. If you're looking to experience a visual novel that'll hurt you with bad endings for your first time because you hate yourself as much as I do, then play Amnesia.
Yeah, that's deep right there. So
says
for the
says local man that plays Sekiro.
listen, I never said I didn't hate myself, but so for the people that don't know, what's the difference between a visual novel and an otome?
Oh, okay. So like an otome is like very specifically focused on dating. So otomes, and it also kind of has like a harem aspect. So you typically play as like one person and you have an opportunity to basically date like a harem. So it's like one
Hmm.
route you can date one person and then you can go to like, the next dude and then the next dude and that kind of stuff. So you have an opportunity to kind of date around. But specifically, the focal point of the otome is like the romance. When it comes to like
Right.
a visual novel, it's not necessarily about the romance. It's more about the overarching storyline,
Yeah,
and that's
it's like
kind
a
of like the
book with
focus.
pictures.
Exactly. So like, y'all ever read those fucking choose your own adventure books from Goosebumps, or just a choose your own
Um,
adventure book in general?
I never did. I think they're less popular translated, probably,
Oh,
but I'm sure people listening know what you're talking about.
yeah. So essentially, like an otome is like a choose your own adventure but romance novel, and then like a visual novel is just specifically like a choose your own adventure. But there may be some
Yeah,
romance involved, but the main focal point is definitely like the story and the actual like result of the story.
right. And then otomas are like, is it correct to assume that it's more specifically that you're always dating guys, or is that
No,
wrong?
no. So when it comes to like an otome and stuff like that, you can like it kind of goes both ways. There might be a different, fancy term that specifically goes with like, if you're a guy and you're dating women, but for
Hmm.
the most part, I just use them kind of interchangeably. If there is a specific term, like go ahead and comment that below because I would love to know it because clearly I don't. But I just kind of use otome interchangeably for between, both. If you're playing as a man and you're dating multiple women in the harem style versus
Yeah.
being a woman and dating men in a multiple harem style kind of thing. So I use it interchangeably, but if I'm wrong, go ahead and comment below.
Yeah.
Correct me, help me become a better
Bully her.
person.
Bully her if she's wrong.
Yeah, bully me if I'm wrong. You have full permission.
So, what's the first visual novel or otome that you've ever played? Do you remember?
Shit, I'm trying to think back.
All you think for me, I'm not really a visual novelist or otome guy at all. I've really only played Katawa Shoujo. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Mm-mm.
It's the roots actually go back to a visual novel made by 4chan. And so, but it's actually pretty good, at least for, I would say it's Babby's first visual novel kind of deal. And it's basically you're this guy that gets a heart condition. As a result, you get transferred to a school with people with disabilities. So, and that's where you pick who you want to date, right? Like there's a girl who's blind, there's another girl that's deaf, and that's kind of the selling point of it, I guess. But they all have like their very own unique backstory, and it's a lot more sad than I thought it was gonna be going into it. But it's pretty short. I think like a full route from start to finish, maybe like 4 to 6 hours or so.
Oh, okay. That's actually a fairly shorter kind of
Yeah,
routes. Most of the games that I've played were, you're dating multiple people and stuff like that. There's, the routes are significantly longer. But I mean, I also play a lot of like ones where that's, I don't know, the
the
focus.
draw.
Yeah, the draw.
Yeah,
Everybody's horny. Everybody's horny and everybody wants to play.
basically. Yeah, no, this is definitely like a very entry level visual novel. Like it's it's kind of like Doki Doki. It's very entry level, but it's not like Doki Doki. It's not fucked up in such a way.
Yeah, I gotcha. So I'm trying to think. So I think my very first specific otome was probably Hakuoki. But I've played a fair amount since then. I've played Amnesia. Amnesia again, super good. I've played The Men of Yoshiwara. I've played all that series. I want to try to borrow somebody's Collar X Malice because I think it's really good, or Collar Malice. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things where like it's like Hunter x Hunter and you don't pronounce the X. Don't pronounce the
Okay.
X in Hunter x Hunter. Okay.
Called out.
Called out. Dragged. If you're pronouncing the X in Hunter x Hunter, are you even a gamer?
I'm not gonna lie. I pronounced the X for a long time.
Fucking damn it! You're the reason why we can't have nice things.
I didn't know, and then I learned like, oh, it's actually Hunter x Hunter, and then now I also shame people who pronounce the X.
Yeah, that's what you got to do. Once you get woke, you just got to shame others into also becoming woke.
Yeah, just pretend you were never unwoke, you know?
Exactly. Oh, another otome that I played that I loved a lot was Code Realize. Code Realize was super cute. It kind of has more like a cult following, but if you played Code Realize, then hell yeah, I see you. I acknowledge you. I know you. But I want to say my first visual novel was probably Fate.
Oh, I was actually gonna bring up Fate.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna say, like, so it doesn't sound like you got into the big ones like Fate and Steins Gate, but then you whipped out Fate.
Just Fate. Yeah, I did not get into Steins Gate at all. So sorry to all the people out there that are like, hell yeah, Steins Gate. I'm not with you, Scoob. But that's okay. I could be. But I also like technically the Danganronpa series, right, is also a visual novel. Ooh, Phoenix Wright.
I wouldn't call Phoenix Wright a visual novel.
It's a fucking visual novel, bitch. Like you just fucking solved that shit. It's a point and click visual novel. If you don't fucking agree, fight me.
I can see the argument, but you don't have any choices really. So I wouldn't really put it as a visual novel, but maybe I'm just like close-minded in that. Danganronpa for sure though.
Yeah, Danganronpa is definitely one. Also 999. I played 999. So that's like 9 hours, 9
minutes,
9
seconds,
9
right?
doors or something like that. Yeah, I played that, and that's definitely a visual novel.
Yeah, that's a DS puzzle game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it got a PC release like this or last year. I think.
What?
I'm not 100% sure about it, but I think or a port or a sequel or something like that. I remember some streamers play, or they could have just maybe been playing on an emulator. I don't know, but I definitely remember seeing it.
Hell yeah, no, that's sick. And also, I love 999, and I cosplayed from it. I was Lotus, made a Lotus cosplay.
I have never played the games, so I have no idea what that is. But
wow, well, she's hot. That's all you gotta know.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Have you played any like otomes or visual novels?
The last one I played was Katawa Shoujo.
Right.
And that was, I don't know, 13 years ago or something. I didn't play Doki Doki because I got the ending spoiled for me. Like I was going to play it, and I was like, oh well, I now know the twist, so there's really no point.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I never really got into them. Because I don't hate them. Like I enjoyed Katawa Shoujo quite a bit. Maybe because it was my first one, that was such a good experience for me. Like maybe it really pales in comparison to the more established ones. I know back in the day I tried playing Fate, but it was so hard to find a translation from Japanese to English, and back then the internet was much more of a mess than it is now.
Oh yeah, it was fucked.
I'm sure if I go to Google right now and type in, Fate Stay Night translated, it'll be like the first result, and it's like already auto patched, and I don't have to do anything wonky to get it to work. But back then I was I think that was probably the main reason why I never got into them, because back then they weren't really translated, and you had to like scour the internet to find like some fan group doing it for free and hoping, you know, it's all translated and that it's all working and it's easy to do.
Yep.
And I just never did that because
No. Yeah. I think the way that I had to do it was I literally had the visual novel or the play like on one side, and then I was using somebody's fucking live journal translations on the other.
yeah, live journal. Yeah. I mean, for me, especially during that era, I lived in Serbia and the internet was slow. Like, oh, don't. It was horrible. So even just browsing the internet was such a chore, and I just never really bothered. Because for reference, for me to download like an anime episode of like 200 megabytes, it would take me like 2 to 3 days. And then to kind of like, you know, like hedge a bet if this 1 gigabyte visual novel was going to work or not, like let's find out in 2 weeks. I didn't really want to do that, so I just never did.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Especially, I don't know. If the internet was that slow, I probably wouldn't want to fucking invest in that shit either. I'd be like, no, I'm tired. I can't do this.
Yeah. Although nowadays my internet is great, so I don't really have an excuse anymore. But I don't know. I guess I might look into it one day. But I think for now, my gaming schedule is pretty packed.
No, you have like a lot coming down the pipeline. How do you kind of like what's your process, I guess, for like selecting those games? I know you said that you basically like kind of play games that you're interested in, and just, stream it because that's just kind of what you want to do. But I mean, did you have like a method for selecting like your next game coming up, or?
Well, I wanted to play Sekiro and Devil May Cry 5 for a while. And I was like, okay, well, I'm going to start streaming soon. So let me just hold off a little bit and just play them on stream. And between those two, it was kind of like a coin flip. I think I asked you which one I should play. You said Sekiro, so here I am. And as for the upcoming ones, I guess it's just whatever I feel like after I beat Sekiro, right? But I also don't want to do the same stuff, right? Like, let's say if I also wanted to play Dark Souls 1 through 3, I wouldn't play them right after Sekiro. Like, I would at least have a game in between so that people who are kind of tired or don't like that genre, like, don't have to like tune out for like 3 straight months, you know?
Yeah, I got you. I mean, that makes sense.
So just kind of, I'll probably do Devil May Cry next, like I said, and then I'll probably do like a JRPG, like be it some old school one or maybe Final Fantasy 15. And then at that point, maybe Cyberpunk is out. If not, I'll probably do like Horizon Zero Dawn. And there's just plenty of stuff to pick from, really. Like it's not a bad. There are enough games that I haven't played yet or haven't played in a long time that I wouldn't mind replaying them. That I shouldn't run out of options in like at least the next 6 months, and hopefully, assumingly by then, there'll be more games out.
Yeah, I got you. Like, I'm super stoked for fucking Cyberpunk. That's gonna be sick.
Yeah, I've never really been a Cyberpunk fan. I always liked the Dungeons and Dragons side more of it in terms of the tabletop. Like I've played the Cyberpunk. No, what's it called? I played Shadowrun.
Yeah, Shadowrun.
Yeah, but I didn't like it as much. Like I thought some things were cool and it was well designed, but just wasn't my cup of tea. Like I've never really been a sci-fi / cyberpunk aesthetics type of guy. But I just have a lot of faith in CD Projekt Red that Cyberpunk is going to be great.
No, that's sick. Yeah, that game looks so good, but I wonder why. Like, well, I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think about it, and I'm like, I really like. I really like fantasy, like Dungeons and Dragons, like fantasy and stuff like that. But I also just
Mhm.
I really love like sci-fi and specifically like dystopian futures with like cybernetics. So
Right.
Shadowrun was super sick for me. And like I love Blade Runner. Like Blade Runner is probably one of my favorite movies. Um,
The old one or the remake or both?
Technically, the new one is a sequel. It's not a remake. So
Oh,
it's a sequel to
well,
the previous one, but they're both good. I both really like them. I cosplayed Pris from Blade Runner. So yeah, Blade Runner has a special kind of portion of my
like
heart,
your
I
art.
would say. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I can get that. But yeah, if you especially if you're into that stuff, then it's just an extra bonus, you know. But for me, it's like, how do I best put this? Um, Cyberpunk could have been anything else, and I would have been excited for it because it's by CD Projekt Red, right? Like, I think that's more my frame of mind. Like, I'm not excited because it's Cyberpunk, as opposed to a lot of people who are extra excited because it is exactly Cyberpunk, you know.
Well, for me, it's because I'm totally
That
into
whole,
Cyberpunk, yeah, and that
yeah,
whole ass thing.
yeah. I can get that absolutely. I'm personally most looking forward, which is hella far off, and I'm probably gonna mess up the name again. Lord, no, not Lord of the Ring, Elden Ring, by FromSoft.
Yes, Elden Ring. But also, give
Yeah.
me fucking Bloodborne too. Like, what's wrong with you?
Well, Elden Ring might be a spiritual successor, right? You
Yeah.
never know.
That's honestly how I'm looking at it too, is that it just might be like a spiritual successor, but still at the same time, like, fucking Bloodborne was so good.
I haven't played Bloodborne yet.
Well, you should.
It,
Maybe that should be your next fucking game, eh?
I mean, maybe, but I don't have a capture card. Huh? And they're like
Ass.
$200, so it's like extra ass. I know. Like, I'd like to play Bloodborne and also play Fire Emblem Three Houses, but I don't have a capture card, so it's like, man, I can't really justify a capture card for like those two games, you know?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I just really love Bloodborne, so I would love to see you play it, just because I want to see.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to play it. Don't get me wrong, but I've just kind of been holding off for, because of the streaming angle. Like maybe one day I will be able to get a capture card without it, breaking my entire wallet in half. So that's that's the main reason why I haven't played it yet. But I do own the game. I think it was on sale one time for like $5 or something. I was like, I'm definitely snatching that up. That's mine.
Damn, $5. That's actually really, really good. Was that just like a digital download?
Yeah, it was just like through a store. I think a store was going out of business or something, and they had some extra keys. I don't really remember at this point. It's like maybe 7 years ago or something, right? Or however long it's been since Bloodborne came out. But I got it for super cheap.
Damn. Yeah, dude, you need to get on that. I fucking love Bloodborne.
I do, and eventually, right? Because I'm still fingers crossed to get that capture card one day. To play it, and I mean, for now, again, like Sekiro is also very, very good. Can definitely recommend it again to anyone who's into Souls games, even though any Dark Souls experience you have does not translate over at all. I thought it would, but no, it doesn't. So I don't know if I can, like, if you enjoy those types of games, you might not enjoy Sekiro, but I think you will.
Yeah. I mean, from what I saw of it, I have not played Sekiro, so I couldn't say, but I have been watching you play it, and it does kind of
Mhm.
remind me a lot about, a lot of, like a Souls game or, Bloodborne and all that stuff. So, I mean, I think you know, like it makes sense that they'd kind of be considered in the same family. Wasn't it that what somebody in your chat was saying that technically Sekiro started off as being a Tenchu successor?
Yes, I was gonna bring it up too. So it definitely has the soul or heart, if you don't want to use soul, of like Souls like games. Like you can definitely see the FromSoft touch in there. But it was originally being developed as a Tenchu game. And for people who don't know, Tenchu is like old at this point. I think the last one came out for the Xbox 360, I want to say. And before that was like a PS1 game.
Yeah.
And you're just a ninja, and the game is mostly about stealth kills and as little combat as possible. And Sekiro does allow you to stealth kill pretty much everybody. So you can definitely see that it was trying to be a Tenchu game, but somewhere during the development they decided it wasn't right. I think maybe they incorporated the combat, and then they were like, this really doesn't fit a Tenchu game, so let's just make it a different game. But you can definitely still tell, both with the stealth mechanics, and you have a grappling hook to quickly move around, and like certain items, like you can throw porcelain shards to like create sounds and stuff like that. So it's definitely little peaks and remnants of Tenchu when you pull back the curtain.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to think back. I'm like, so I know the one that came out for the Xbox. There was two actually. There was Tenchu Shadow Assassins. Maybe that was an Xbox. No, I think. Oh no, it was Wii. Tenchu Shadow Assassins was for fucking Wii, but the one for Xbox was Tenchu Z, and I didn't pick that up. The last Tenchu that I played was Tenchu Wrath of Heaven. Then that was for PS2. So.
Yeah, no, the last one I played was for the Xbox. I think for the Wii it was a port. I'm pretty sure it was a port.
Ah. Wow.
I think, because I had a Wii. I don't think I have a Wii anymore, and I definitely would have picked it up if it wasn't a port, or it just had very gimmicky motion controls, and I decided that it went against the grain of Tenchu. One of those two, for sure. But the Xbox one was really good at the time. I don't think it holds up, but it was really, really good at the time. I had a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, I think FromSoft have to actually put that out too.
I don't know, because I generally don't know. I don't know who made the Tenchus for the PlayStation either. Like, I don't know the original creators. It's been so long for me.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, my last Tenchu was fucking Tenchu Wrath of Heaven, but I don't know if you remember listening to that opening theme song, but it fucking slapped.
I can't emulate it, like, gun to my head. I cannot like start to mimic it, but I can like vaguely hear bits and pieces in my head.
Yeah, I want to say the opening theme song was Sadame, but I couldn't remember what.
Yes.
I did not remember. Yes, it slapped. It fucked, dude. It fucked.
It was really, really good. Yeah,
it was a goddamn.
I remember. I think because this was before YouTube, right?
Yes.
That I would just leave the menu open.
Same. I would too. It was a song. It was a fucking bop, Scoob. It was so good.
I'm gonna have to look it up after this to just like jam to.
Right. I would totally leave the menu open too, but I'm very sure. Yeah, the name of it was Sadame.
Yeah, no, for sure. That is the name. I can tell you that without looking it up. That is for sure the name.
Oh, it's on YouTube. We in it.
I mean, everything is on YouTube now.
We in it. Yeah, it was a goddamn bop.
But yeah, no, but I am kind of hopeful that maybe this is probably going to be in a distant future, because Demon Souls remake first and then Elden Ring. Maybe after that or during somewhere that they'll maybe make an actual Tenchu successor.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but you know what I was thinking about? That like lately games kind of based in Japan have been really really doing well. I mean, if you think about it, Sekiro did really well, and then now Ghosts of Tsushima did really fucking well
Yeah.
too. So, kind of curious about like, man, what made us all like all of a sudden start just being really into Japan? I mean, not that we weren't, because anime is life, anime is
Yeah.
love.
I mean, I think it's because for a lot of people it's new, right? Like imagine if you don't really consume anime in your life, then the whole samurai and the whole Eastern history and that whole aesthetic is just a breath of fresh air, right?
Yeah, it definitely is. I mean, especially like just seeing, I've been, like on Twitch watching various streamers like play Ghost of Tsushima, and
Mhm.
man, those graphics, Scoob, like the way that they like did sunsets and stuff too, like the scenery and the world is pretty breathtaking, not gonna lie.
Yeah, like that game, I haven't played it yet, full disclosure, but from what I hear, from what I can tell, it's definitely the swan song for the PS4. Like it's a very high note to end on.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of the new generation consoles, are you looking to get one of the new generation? And if so, which one?
I mean, if my wallet ever permits it, for sure the PS5. If nothing else, I just want to play Demon Souls again.
Yeah.
That's good enough for me.
Yeah, I feel that. I was looking at, and also just like the designs. I mean, the fucking Xbox, the new Xbox kind of just looks like a modem.
I mean, the new PS5
Oh,
looks like Kaiba.
yeah, it looks like Seto Kaiba, but at the same time, it's like, man,
I like the design. I'm not like a lot of people hate the winged design of the PS5. I don't. I think it's perfectly fine.
I think like aesthetically, it looks nice, but at the same time, it's gonna be a motherfucker to clean. Like, it's gonna catch dust like nobody's business.
Yeah, I mean, not just that. I mean, it's not the dust is less so of an issue, I think, because it's white. But I think because it's white, eventually it's gonna like turn yellow. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Because that's what white does.
yeah. White turns yellow. Unless
Especially,
unless it's made out of metal and not plastic.
it's not gonna be made out of metal. Come on, man.
Okay, well, what if it was? What if it was like set? What if like Sony was so big dick energy that it was made out of fucking metal? But at that point, I think it'd be kind of lethal. Like if you dropped it on a foot, it would just like
Yeah,
cut a toe off.
I was about to say, like at that point, it's like 10 pounds. It's like okay, like I just bought a murder weapon.
I mean, at the same time, think back to the fucking old Xbox. That shit was a fucking murder weapon. It was so fucking heavy. I knew somebody that dropped the power brick for the old Xbox on their toe, and
Oof.
it shattered their toenail, and they were like bleeding
Yeah,
everywhere.
yeah, no, that's rough. But it's also like I don't know. I think like I hope they release a black version as well because especially like the white version, it's gonna stain. Doubly so if you live in a smoker household. It's just gonna be yellow within a year, and it's a shame because it's expensive, right? Like you want your expensive stuff to look good. At least I do.
Yeah, no, for sure. You definitely want it to look good, but I don't know. If you look at it and you realize it's Seto Kaiba, there are no bad cards in my grandfather's deck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, like I like the design as it is. But I have a white computer case, so for me it would fit in with my aesthetic as well, just in general. So maybe that's why I'm a little bit biased towards it, but
Mm.
I definitely prefer that over the black brick that the new Xbox is.
Yeah, I say aesthetically. Okay, well, right. So the new PlayStation is straight up a modem, and then I think the brick, like the new Xbox, just dead ass looks like a bunch of Legos. Just looks like it's
Yeah,
made out of Legos.
like the Xbox definitely um is more subtle. Like maybe if I put it like in the living room, like
You could put a house
quote
plant.
unquote.
You can put a house plant on top of it, and it could be, like a
Yeah,
decorative item.
yeah, exactly. Like you could put it like underneath your TV and it wouldn't draw any attention, right? While if you have a PS5 and I don't know, let's say you're a parent or whatever, and you have non-gamer friends, they're all gonna ask like, "What the fuck is that?" Right?
Yeah.
So I can see it, but I think it'll be fine, honestly. Like they'll probably like release the PS5 Pro like a year or two down the line. That's like super compact or something.
Yeah.
And so I'm not really worried about it. And at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter as long as it performs well. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
it could be a fucking hot pink triangle, and like I wouldn't care at the end of the day.
I would probably care, but that's also me. I will say most of the things in my house and items are black. So do I like the aesthetic of I like the shape and the aesthetic of the new PlayStation, but with the Xbox, like it's so ugly, but it also comes in black. And at the same time, it's like to me it just looks like it's a fucking ugly essential oils just diffuser that's gonna play some
Yeah.
games. Like it's fucking ugly. Like
I mean,
whoever just like the cube is the future, like you fucked up, Scoob.
yeah, you did fuck. I mean, I suppose if you really don't like either, you can always buy a decal for it.
Oh, so I can put like Guy Fury like flames on the side of my fucking Xbox.
Well, I
Call it
mean,
Flavor Town.
you could if you wanted to, but I mean, there's plenty of companies, right, that do decals for like controllers, for consoles, for phones, like, and they're all pretty good nowadays. Like, there's a wide variety, you know.
Anime booby decal.
I'm sure it exists. It has to exist. Like anime booby decal to go with your anime booby mouse mat.
Yeah, the mouse pads with the titties on them. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, we have a theme in this household, and you walk in, it's just like a bunch of fucking anime titty merchandise, and you're like wearing like a full tracksuit of the Ahegao face.
Oh God. Fucking assert dominance.
Shout out to all the degens out there.
Have you ever had a mouse pad like that?
No, I've never had a titty mouse pad. But man,
Why not?
did my wrists need fucking cradling? They were broken.
Did you break your wrist?
No, I didn't actually break my wrist. I just think that like over
alright.
time, you know, when like okay, so I don't have a wrist pad for my keyboard. I play mostly PC games. So definitely, you know, be rocking that WASD. So I don't actually have a wrist pad to sit on my, you know, on my desk. So my wrist has been sitting at like a bad angle. And I think over time, just typing, playing games more often, and etc., has kind of caused my wrist to be a little fucked up. Like it's been bugging me for the last like week or so.
Have you tried? I assume your keyboard is like propped up on the little feet.
Oh no, it doesn't have like one of those things where it's a feet based one. I have a Black Widow Razer keyboard, and well, the thing is like there's not an adjustable foot thing on it. It's just one set height.
No. They have feet, but what I mean is like, have you tried like putting the feet down so that it's more flush?
Wait, no. They don't fucking have feet. I'm looking at my shit right now. Dead ass. There's no fucking feet.
Mine had feet.
Why does your fucking one have feet? Mine doesn't have fucking feet. I'm looking at this shit right now, Scoop.
Yeah.
No, it's literally just like a flat bar.
Damn, you got scammed.
Damn. To be fair, maybe it's because I didn't throw down the big bucks for the chroma, you know, for the RGB color setup. I'm just rocking just the regular green one. So.
Yeah, maybe.
Did you have a chroma?
Yes.
Damn. All right. Well, everybody shame me for not spraying for the chroma. Just got the basic version.
Since then, I now rock G15 Logitech. It's their newest wireless one, and it has mechanical keys because I wanted to step away from Razer specifically. When I first started, I liked the clicky keys, you know, the blue switches and the Razer greens. But as time went on, I hated how my mic picked all of it up.
Yep, that's kind of where I'm running into. Like, I love the fact that like my Razer does have like additional like it has additional audio port, it has additional like USB fucking thing in it, and that's nice because you know my webcam specifically like for streaming the you know the actual cable itself is kind of short, so like having it just be able to plug into like my keyboard is really helpful. but like I don't know. I'm like I don't know if I need to kind of upgrade because I noticed when it came to my mic and like typing and stuff like that, you could definitely hear it. And I do like the clicky clicks, but now I feel like I kind of need to go a little bit more stealth mode, especially if I'm trying to like, do some streaming more seriously.
Yeah, that's where I was. I was like, I need to, like, I like the feedback a lot, but I can't deal with this anymore. So so I bought this keyboard because it's a low profile keyboard, like super low profile, and it has brown switches. They also have blue and red, but I went for brown. And
They're quieter, right?
yeah, they're super quiet. I can still get the feedback, the tactile feedback, and I splurge a little bit more to get the wireless version. Like I need to charge it like once every 2 weeks, so it's whatever. Because it's just a lot easier to clean, like to clean my desk if I don't have to mess with 80 different
Yeah.
cables.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, cable management is important. If you are not managing your cables, what the fuck are you doing with your life?
Oh, I agree. I definitely agree. But it's still like at some point you can't manage every cable, right? Like there's only so much you can do between like the cable from your keyboard to your computer, because it has to go in that direction, right? You can't really hide it. So if I wanted to clean my desk, I had to like finagle the cable like around my monitor so I could lift it off the desk. Now I just take it off. But
Yeah, I imagine that's pretty useful. See, all my shit's wired, and I'm kind of like reconsidering. I'm like, man, these wires are getting out of hand, Scoob.
yeah, but so as far as that goes, but because this is such a flush keyboard, it's been a lot easier on my wrist, I noticed.
Yeah, I noticed that like it being angled is actually hurting my wrist more.
Yeah, I mean it's better the more flush it is, right?
Yeah, but
For sure.
I just gotta rest so I can have that down. But it's just kind of funny. Like my mouse doesn't bother me that it's flat and stuff, but my keyboard, I'm fucking hurting, Scoop.
Yeah, I can absolutely get that. Another thing you could consider is maybe stretches for your wrist every hour or so, like take a minute or two to stretch them.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. Yeah, if you have any suggestions on ergonomic designs for your desks, if you have a desk setup that you're pretty proud of and love, yeah, fucking post that shit in chat. I mean, not chat,
What
but below.
in the comments down below?
Yeah,
Yeah.
post that shit in the comments down below. As you can tell, like clearly I'm in Twitch mode.
Yeah,
Do it in
just it's
chat.
habit sometimes. So but with that said, I think it's time for us to wrap up.
Yeah.
So where can people find you?
Oh, you can find me on Instagram and on Twitch and on Twitter. My Twitter is _apothecary. So like apothecary, but spelled CARIE. And you can find me at Twitch/apothecary. And on Instagram, you can find me at _apothecary. Finger guns.
There you go. All those links will be down in the description below. And as for me, you can find me at Twitter and Twitch. They're both just Nifty Studios. And again, links will be down below. Yeah, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining me, Kelly.
Yeah, my pleasure as always, my guy.
And then I think we're just gonna call it.
Yep. All right, sounds good. Thanks everybody for taking the time to listen to us. Appreciate you, and I hope you have a good ass rest of your weekday, all that good stuff, and see us next time.
Yeah, take it easy.
Yeah. Bye.